Hi everyone, join me as I explore some of the best sites in the most livable city in Australia, the capital of Victoria, the one and only Melbourne. Hi and welcome to Dan's Destinations. With Melbourne being my current home, I have long wanted to put together a detailed guide for it, but I had kept putting it off due to the daunting effort required to do it justice. To get it started, I decided to focus on this initial guide of the CBD, which will be my longest video to date. I hope you find it useful. Also, YouTube says less than 5% of you are subscribed, so help a mate out and smash that like and subscribe button. If you are new to the city, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 offers great tours and experiences for all major cities, and if you click on the link in the video description, it helps us out and doesn't cost you extra. Melbourne's main public transport options are trains, trams and buses. The train and tram network adopts a hub and spoke model, with all lines centralizing at the Melbourne CBD. Buses are used to connect the different branches of the spoke, or in suburbs with no train or tram networks. Travelling on public transport in Melbourne requires a MyKi prepaid card. You can buy this at the train station or most 7-Eleven convenience stores. As of this time, one of the general complaints of the public transport is that it doesn't accept credit cards, unlike Sydney's Opal public transport readers. Hence, even short-term visitors will need to purchase a MyKi card, although there are plans to enable credit cards in the future. You can use MyKi for trains, buses and trams. You need to tap on at your start location and also tap off at your arrival location. The exception to this rule are the trams, where there is no need to tap off when you exit a tram. You only need to tap on when you board a tram. Additionally, if you are travelling on trams in the CBD, it is free, so you don't need to tap on. However, if you travel outside of the free tram zone, then you will need to tap on or risk fines from ticket inspectors. Google Maps is very helpful to guide you on which trains, trams or buses to take. Just enter your destination and choose public transport, and you'll be presented with train, tram and bus options. It'll give you directions where to board, how many stops and where to get off. Another option for exploring the city is the use of shared bicycles. In the CBD, there are shared electric bicycles by Lime. You can use either the Lime app or Uber to search for an electric bicycle near you to rent. Melbourne has some great dedicated bicycle paths, so this is a great way to explore the city. Outside of the CBD, you can also use shared electric scooters by Lime or Neuron. If you are considering renting a car and driving in Melbourne, the recommendation is don't. Sure, the idea of cruising through this cosmopolitan city sounds romantic, but the reality is that Melbourne has a labyrinth of unique road rules and parking signs designed by a sadistic puzzle master. Driving in the CBD means that you'll be sharing the road with trams, and certain intersections require you to perform a hook turn to turn right. So confusing is this road rule that it has become fodder for Australian comedians like Sammy J.
Good evening, Australia! Do not adjust your television sets, for I have taken control of your airwaves to deliver an important message from the former state of Victoria, or as it is now known, the People's Republic of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
a good video from Transport Victoria that I will link to in the video description. But basically, you have to keep to the left lane to turn right. You then block the cars to your left, allowing trams and other cars going straight to pass before the traffic light turns green. Then you make your turn. Driving in the CBD means sharing the road with trams. Another important rule is that you must not overtake the tram at the tram stop, as pedestrians may alight here. You must stop along with the tram. You may only overtake once the tram has started moving. I will also link this video below, so please watch the video if you do intend to drive in Melbourne. The parking signs in Melbourne can be confusing, and free parking bays are as scarce as water in the outback desert. Basically, the 1p or 2p indicates a maximum 1 hour or 2 hour limit to parking here. If there's no meter sign, then it means that parking is free with the above time restriction. If there's a meter sign, then parking fees need to be paid at the parking meter machine. You can also pay parking online via an app. This is administered by two major app developers, Prepaid and 𝗬𝗎𝗏. Just look for the parking zone number in the app that matches the zone number on the street sign. Then choose how much time you need and start the timer. Using the app is more economical, for if you end your parking earlier than you booked for, the app will only charge you for the time you use. If you book a full hour using the parking meter, you don't get any refund if you depart early. The COVID lockdown accelerated the use of cashless payments. However, most places still accept cash, while credit card transactions typically incur a surcharge, anywhere from 1% to 1.9%. Additionally, if you are eating out on a public holiday, some eateries tag an additional holiday surcharge of 10% to 20%, so it's a good idea to check and plan accordingly. Now, on to our guide. We start our journey at the iconic Flinders Street Station, which is the southernmost train station of the CBD and is Melbourne's unofficial meeting spot. Meet me under the clocks isn't a line of poetry, it's a city mantra. The clocks above the main entrance have been ticking away since 1905, standing guard as generations of Melburnians rush by, clutching coffee cups and existential dread, trying to catch their trains. If you're lucky, you'll spot a busker whose talent rivals that of today's modern superstars. If you are unlucky, you'll encounter a pigeon with a vendetta. The station's Victorian architecture, with its mustard yellow facade and giant dome, is a love letter to an era when buildings were ornate and built to last. It's seen wars, protests, and an ungodly amount of missed connections. Up Flinders Lane, you'll find Croque Monsieur, a place to enjoy a delicious French-style breakfast to start your day. I had the Croque Madame, which is a variation of the Croque Monsieur, but with a poached egg on top. The coffee is also very good. Melbourne has a very strong coffee culture, with outsiders likening us to coffee snobs, a fact that the international chain Starbucks found out on their initial foray into Australia. Now you will only find Starbucks at major tourist hubs like the airport and Southern Cross Station. If you ask 10 Melburnians for recommendations for the best coffee, you'll likely get 10 different answers. That being said, it's hard to find a cafe with bad coffee in the city, so be adventurous and help support the local small businesses. Also located on Little Flinders Lane is 𝗟's Authentic New York Pizza. 𝗟's originally started in New York in 1975, before expanding to New Zealand in 2009. They subsequently expanded to Melbourne in 2019 and have carved out a name for itself as a go-to spot for true New York pizza lovers. 𝗟's delivers a pizza experience that is both comforting and exciting. Whether you're a New Yorker looking for a taste of home or a Melburnian wanting to experience something new, 𝗟's ticks all the boxes. Brunetti on Little Flinders Lane combines the rich tradition of Italian cafe culture with the convenience of a city centre location. The Brunetti story began in 1985 in Carlton, where the original cafe became synonymous with Melbourne's Italian community. Their Little Flinders Lane location offers a more compact yet equally luxurious experience, bringing their iconic offering closer to the city's retail and business precinct. Their signature pastries and desserts include their cannoli, tiramisu, and chocolate milk tart. They are also renowned for their perfectly brewed espressos, cappuccinos, and cafe lattes, made with high-quality beans. Across from Flinders Street Station is St. Paul's Cathedral, one of Melbourne's most iconic landmarks with its stunning neo-Gothic architecture, rich history, and serene atmosphere. Also across from Flinders Street Station is Federation Square, where Melbourne's polished modern face flexes its abstract angles and events are held almost every weekend. If Flinders Street Station is a beloved old novel, Federation Square is a collection of avant-garde poetry that you're not sure you understand. I cross over the Princess Bridge and take a ride along the South Bank Promenade, where you can get a nice view of the Yarra River. The Yarra River is the natural boundary between Melbourne CBD and South Bank. It is Melbourne's liquid landmark, winding its way through the city like a ribbon of history, culture, and, well, questionable clarity. Melburnians lovingly joke that you can mistake it for a coffee spill from one of the city's cafes.
What is the river that runs through Melbourne? The Yarra River. Correct. And where is Melbourne's sewage facility? The Yarra River. Also correct.
Despite this, you can get some stunning views of the river at sunrise or sunset, or hop on a river cruise to see Melbourne from a new angle. Just remember, if you drop something overboard, it's probably not coming back in the same colour. A short distance from Flinders Station is LIFE Aquarium. It has been a captivating destination since its grand opening in January 2000. This state-of-the-art aquarium was designed to provide an immersive experience in the underwater world, making it one of Melbourne's most visited attractions. The highlights include a petting aquarium for kids. The Penguin Playground is another favourite attraction, featuring adorable king and gentoo penguins. Designed to mimic the sub-Antarctic environment, this enclosure provides a chilly and realistic habitat for these charming birds. You can watch them waddle on the ice, dive into the water, and interact with one another. Up a level, you will come across the Australian saltwater crocodile enclosure. Home to one of the largest reptiles on Earth, this exhibit offers a thrilling view of the prehistoric predators. You'll have a chance to observe the massive saltwater crocodiles up close via transparent observation portholes. These creatures are extremely dangerous, but luckily the only crocs in Victoria are the ones in the zoo or on people's feet. In the basement, you will find the Oceanarium or underwater aquarium. This is undoubtedly one of sea life's crown jewels. Visitors can wander through a 2.2 million litre oceanarium that houses a vibrant array of marine life, including sharks, rays, and a myriad of colourful fish. The heart of this exhibit is a 360-degree viewing hall, providing an immersive view of these magnificent underwater creatures. You can also sign up for the Shark Dive Extreme, where instructors take you on a guided scuba dive to get up close with these underwater predators. This is also open to people who do not have scuba certification, but part of your dive time will be allocated to a training session. Standing proudly at Melbourne's Convention and Exhibition Centre, the 𝗏𝗃 Eye is a striking symbol of resilience and reinvention. Offering panoramic views of Melbourne's skyline and the Yarra River, this was originally the planned location for the now failed Melbourne Star Observation Wheel, before politics got the better of business sense and it was moved to Docklands. The city planners had envisaged that it would elevate Docklands into a bustling tourist hub, but the lack of view of Melbourne's skyline and iconic landmarks doomed it, and it closed in 2021. The 𝗏𝗃 Eye, although smaller, is a vibrant can't-miss experience, offering an unparalleled bird's-eye view of Melbourne's most iconic landmarks, and also a vision of what could have been had the Melbourne Star been allowed to be built where it was originally planned. Beside it is the Pollywood site, a historic 19th century tall ship that is open on the first and third Sunday of the month for families to explore. Further down Flinders Street, you will find Raising the Rattler Pole, a sculpture dedicated to the W-Class Rattler tram, one of Melbourne's iconic workhorses. Up the road, you'll find Southern Cross Station, which is a transportation hub used for regional and interstate trains. If you wish to visit nearby cities like Geelong or Ballarat, you can take the trains there using the MyKi card. However, trains to further regional destinations like Apollo Bay will require a reserved ticket. You can also take a train here to Sydney, which is about a 13-hour journey. Southern Cross is also the location for the Sky Bus for transport to and from Melbourne Airport. Sadly, after many years, we are still missing a rail link from the city to Melbourne Airport. From here, it is a short ride up to Queen Vic via tram or bicycle. Established in 1878, Queen Victoria Market is one of Melbourne's most iconic and vibrant shopping destinations. Spanning over 7 hectares, it is the largest open-air market in the Southern Hemisphere that sells a variety of goods, such as fresh produce, meat, seafood, cheese, bread, flowers, clothing, souvenirs, and more. What many visitors may not know is that part of the market, specifically the car park, was Melbourne's first official cemetery from 1837, which served as the final resting place for 10,000 people, including some of the city's founders, such as John Batman and John Pascoe Faulkner. Although 912 graves were moved out in 1922, the rest are still buried under the car park and the sheds. Tread lightly when you cross a car park, as you are walking across the final resting place of 9,000 souls. The market is rumoured to be haunted, with residents reporting ghostly sightings at night. There's always some festival being held here on weekends, with local favourites as well as seasonal food vendors providing a wide variety of food for all. Some of the famous eateries here include the iconic American Donut Kitchen. Serving up hot, freshly made jam-filled donuts, this beloved van has been a market staple for decades. The long queues here are a testament to its freshness and popularity. Another famous stall is the Mussel Pot, which serves up fresh mussels in delicious broth. Their signature dish is the steamed chili coconut cream mussels. Patrons typically use the mussel shell as a makeshift spoon to scoop up the broth. The deli hall at Queen Victoria Market is a food lover's dream, offering an impressive selection of cheeses, cured meats, olives, and other gourmet delights. A highlight here is the famous bratwurst shop, known for its delicious freshly grilled sausages. Serving a variety of bratwurst with different seasoning and spice level, this shop attracts long lines of customers eager to savor their mouth-watering offerings. There are so many eateries to explore, and you'll probably make multiple visits to sample them all. Another open secret amongst locals is to visit the butcher and seafood vendors after 1 PM. In the afternoon, they start to heavily discount the meat and seafood as they need to clear their stock before the market closes at 3 PM. Hence, you can snatch some nice bargains if you time your arrival. Every season, for a few weeks, Queen Vic hosts a night market every Wednesday from 5 PM till late at night, with live performances and a host of food stalls. You can check their websites for the dates when the night markets are held. It started in the late 1990s as a seasonal event and quickly grew in popularity to become a regional affair each season. Jojo's Little Kitchen is a hidden gem for anyone craving authentic Malaysian fare. Situated just a short distance from Queen Vic Market, they are famous for their signature chili pan mee and fried barbecue pork. The lachu noodles are a love letter to heat and flavour. Made with buckwheat noodles, minced pork, a soft egg, and their famous dried chili, it's the kind of dish that makes your lips tingle, but you just can't stop going back for another bite. Their fried barbecue pork is also a delight, with crispy edges that give way to a tender, juicy interior. It's comfort food elevated, a dish that could stand on its own, but pairs beautifully with the bowl noodles. Located nearby, Roti Bar has earned its reputation as a culinary treasure for lovers of Malay Indian cuisine. Known for its vibrant flavours and unbeatable roti, it has gained a loyal following for its dedication to tradition, recipes, fresh ingredients, and a warm, welcoming atmosphere. Their signature dishes include their roti, which comes in many variations, be it with egg, banana, or flooded with curry. Their satay skewers are absolutely delicious and one of the best in Melbourne. On weekends, they serve their banana leaf rice, which comes with a myriad of curry toppings that blend together to give you an explosion of flavour in every bite. On weekdays, they offer their shell-out seafood spread, which must be reserved in advance and is ideal for group sharing. Also located nearby is Lulu's 𝗟𝗏𝗽𝗃, which has built a reputation as Penang's street food royalty in Melbourne. Their fried noodles, famous for its smoky wok-hei and bold flavours, has not only captured the hearts of locals, but also attracted global food celebrities like Uncle Roger, who gave it his seal of approval. One recommendation is to visit during off-peak hours to avoid the long queues. Up the road is Melbourne Central, which is one of the major train stations and also a major shopping centre in the heart of the CBD. The giant pocket watch hangs from the second level, and at the top of every hour, a marionette display with Australian cockatoos, galas, and two minstrels performing Waltzing Matilda descends from the bottom of the watch. Located next to it is the Short Tower Museum, where visitors can learn more of the historic 9-storey tower, which survived demolition in 1973. It was originally used to manufacture ammunition by dripping hot lead from the top of the tower to a water tank below. Located opposite Melbourne Central is the State Library of Victoria. With its grand facade and iconic dome, the library is a beacon for readers, history buffs, and anyone looking to soak up a little inspiration. Founded in 1854, it is one of the oldest public libraries in the world. Its doors opened during Melbourne's gold rush, reflecting the city's newfound wealth and ambition. The vision was simple yet profound, to provide free access to knowledge for all. It is also a great place to stop for a rest and escape the heat after a day of walking. There are free lockers available for use here too. The crowning jewel of the library is the Dome Reading Room. Completed in 1913, the soaring octagonal space is bathed in natural light, with tiered balconies that seem to rise endlessly. It's a sanctuary for readers and a must-see for architecture enthusiasts. One of the most fascinating artifacts on display is the infamous suit of armour worn by Australia's most notorious bushranger, Ned Kelly. It's a tangible link to one of the country's most dramatic and divisive historical figures. The armour at the library is on loan from the Police Museum and was originally thought to be Steve Hart's armour, a Kelly gang member. It was later discovered to be Ned Kelly's actual armour, bearing the damage from his last stand at Glenrowan. I have another video about Ned Kelly and Glenrowan, which I'll link to in the video description below. The library also has lush outdoor courtyards, which are popular for picnics, and sometimes you may catch some performers at work. Not far from the State Library, you find the Old Melbourne Gaol, which is one of Melbourne's most haunting landmarks, a place where history and crime intertwine, offering a glimpse into the city's past. Opened in 1845, it was built to house Victoria's most hardened criminals. Over its 80-year operation, it became infamous for its grim conditions and harsh discipline. The prison was also the site of 133 hangings, including Ned Kelly in 1880. Closed in 1929, it has since been transformed into a museum. The jail's execution area houses a gallows, which stands as a stark reminder of the justice system's harshness in the 19th century. It's a sobering experience that puts visitors face to face with the grim realities of life and death in the jail. The courtyard next to it used to be a cemetery to house the executed, and is rumoured to be haunted. I have a separate video of the ghost tour, which I will link to in the video description. Twice a year, a fascinating celestial event graces the streets of Melbourne, delighting photographers, astronomy buffs, and casual strollers alike. Dubbed Melbhenge, this phenomena occurs when the setting sun aligns perfectly with the city's grid-light streets, creating a dazzling display of golden light framed by towering urban architecture. Thanks to the city's carefully planned hodl grid, the sun sets directly along the east-west street during this period, creating a breathtaking corridor of light. This typically happens over 3 days, either in February or November. Some of the best spots to view it are on Latrobe Street between the State Library and the Old Melbourne Gaol. Other spots include the Bourke Street Mall and Flinders Street near the train station. You can use sunkelp.org to check which dates in November or February by searching each date until you get an azimuth of 250 degrees at sunset. Bourke Street Mall is a retail shopping strip, flanked by the retail titans Myers and David Jones. Historic arcades like the Royal Arcade and Block Arcade lurk just around the corner, offering die-hard shoppers their retail fix. In December, Myers is famous for their Christmas display, which has become a traditional family outing for families. The city is dotted with sculptures that range from profound to perplexing, and you find one of the most iconic ones here. The public purse was unveiled to the public in September of 1994 as part of the city's campaign for unique street seating. The sculpture doesn't have an opening, but this hasn't stopped curious people from trying to open it. Melbourne's Chinatown, located along Little Bourke Street, is the oldest continuous Chinese settlement in the Western world, dating back to the gold rush era of the 1850s. While Chinatown retains a cultural significance and offers some authentic experiences, it's heavily geared towards tourism. For a more genuine Chinese dining experience, venture into Melbourne's suburbs like Box Hill, Richmond or Springvale, where the food is less commercialized and more authentic to the rich culinary traditions of the Chinese community. Hopetoun Tea Room is a cherished institution that has been delighting patrons with its elegant high teas and exquisite cake displays since in 1892. Originally established by the Victorian Ladies' Work Association, it was named in honour of Lady Hopetoun, the wife of the first Governor-General of Australia. The tea room has retained their old world charm and continue to offer quintessentially Victorian high tea experience, making it a must-visit destination for both locals and tourists. Tucked away in a hidden laneway, the Mitre Tavern is a place where history, hearty fare and good company come together. It lays claim to being one of Melbourne's oldest pub, and while not officially the oldest licensed establishment, it holds the distinction of being housed in one of the city's oldest buildings, dating back to 1867. The pub's history is steeped in colonial law, as it was the gathering place for Melbourne's early settlers. The Mitre Tavern serves up classic pub fare, with hearty staples like steaks, parmas, and a selection of local and international beers and wines. While it is one of Melbourne's most historic pubs, the title of Melbourne's oldest licensed pub typically goes to the Duke of Wellington on the corner of Flinders and Russell Street, which began serving drinks in 1853. Another interesting pub located nearby is the Sherlock Holmes pub, modelled after the famous detective and serving English pub food. If you are a fan, this is definitely worth a stop. Located just outside the CBD in Carlton Gardens, the Royal Exhibition Building is used to host many events and exhibitions. Known for its stunning design and historical significance, this building is one of the world's last surviving 19th century exhibition pavilions, and a symbol of Melbourne's growth during the Victorian era. Situated next to the Royal Exhibition Centre, the Melbourne Museum is a treasure trove of discovery and wonder. Opened in 2000, the museum is a modern institution designed to blend education and innovation. It is one of the largest museums in the Southern Hemisphere. The Forest Gallery is a living, breathing exhibit, a large indoor rainforest showcasing Victoria's diverse ecosystems. Stroll along elevated walkways as you encounter native plants, birds, reptiles and insects. The museum's colossal blue whale skeleton is a showstopper. It stretches 17 meters long, offering a humbling perspective on the scale of the largest animal to ever live. The Dinosaur Walk Gallery is an awe-inspiring exhibit featuring life-size skeletons of prehistoric giants, including the terrifying Tyrannosaurus Rex. The interactive display and detailed information make it a hit with both kids and adults. A star attraction is the Triceratops horridus, one of the most complete Triceratops skeletons ever discovered. This 67 million year old specimen was first discovered in Montana, USA, before being shipped to Melbourne and is a marvel to behold, with its massive skull and intricate bone structure offering an incredible glimpse into the late Cretaceous period. Back towards Spring Street and Bourke Street, the Butcher's Diner is a carnivore's dream come true. Open as a 24-hour diner, this unassuming spot on Bourke Street combines old-school diner charm with a modern dedication to nose-to-tail cooking, making it one of Melbourne's most unique culinary destinations. Drawing inspiration from European butcheries and classic American diners, it quickly earned a loyal following among foodies, shift workers and night owls alike. These days, they only open from 11 AM to 1 AM. They specialize in meat-centric comfort food, featuring a daily rotating specials menu that includes dry-aged cheeseburgers, steak sandwiches, and crumb pork cutlets. Nestled in an unassuming car park, 𝗤𝗏𝗽𝗃𝗃 is the city's ultimate spot for authentic Thai street food. This no-frills eatery channels the bustling energy of Bangkok's hawker stalls, serving up bold flavours in a casual, lively atmosphere. The long queues are a testament to the authenticity and the quality of the food served. Such long queues, It's almost like Lune. When I shot this video, they were located inside the Wilson's car park on Little Collins Street. They have since relocated to Royal Lane near Bourke Street Mall. Starting as a pop-up, 𝗤𝗏𝗽𝗃𝗃 quickly gained a cult following for its dedication to crafting traditional Thai dishes with no shortcuts. Just fresh ingredients and bold, unapologetic flavours. Its car park location only added to its charm, creating a unique dining experience that locals and visitors love. Pro tip: get there early, as this hidden gem often draws a crowd. Be prepared for long queues during lunch and dinner hours. Down Spring Street, you find the Victoria State Parliament Building, where construction began in 1855 during Victoria's Gold Rush, when the state's newfound wealth demanded an equally impressive seat of government. Construction was completed in 1929. Designed in a neoclassical style, the building's grand colonnades, sweeping steps, and intricate interiors reflect the prosperity of the era. The building's entrance is nothing short of majestic, featuring a sweeping staircase and stunning mosaic floors in the vestibule. The Parliament has free guided tours, which are held daily on weekdays hourly, from 9 AM to 4 PM on the hour when Parliament is not sitting. Booking is not required, but you will need to bring an ID. Visitors can step inside the richly decorated Assembly and Council chambers, adorned with red and green furnishings inspired by the British House of Parliament. It also served as the temporary home of the Australian Federal Parliament from 1901 to 1927, while Canberra's Parliament House was under construction. The Parliamentary Library houses a vast collection of historical texts and intellectual treasure. Here you can see the first parliamentary mace. When the Federal Parliament moved to Canberra, they conveniently borrowed it, and it was only returned in 1952. The second parliamentary mace was stolen in 1891 and has still not been found, although there are many salacious speculations on what happened to it. The Parliament train station is the easternmost station on the city circle and has the distinction of having the longest escalator in the southern hemisphere at 30 meters long, before Sydney's Central Station opened its new 45-meter escalator in 2024. Take care, for at its peak, the escalators were experiencing 2 or 3 serious accidents each week, with more than 600 incidents over 9 years. Next to the Parliament is the Old Treasury Building, a grand Renaissance Revival style building. Originally, the Old Treasury housed gold bullion from Victoria's gold fields in its vaults, but today it's a museum featuring exhibits on the gold rush and the role of the State Treasury. It is also one of Melbourne's most sought-after locations for wedding photography. Brides and grooms flock here for its blend of historic grandeur and urban sophistication, ensuring their special day is captured with a touch of old world charm. Nestled in the serene Fitzroy Gardens, Cook's Cottage is a delightful step back in time, offering visitors a glimpse into the life of one of history's most renowned explorers, Captain James Cook, the discoverer of Australia. Built in 1755 in Yorkshire, England, Cook's Cottage was originally the home of Captain James Cook's parents. In 1933, the cottage was dismantled brick by brick and shipped halfway across the world to Melbourne, where it stands today as a tribute to Cook's contribution to exploration and the discovery of Australia. Also located in the gardens is the model Tudor village, a whimsical nod to history and a pint-sized relic that feels like it was plucked straight out of an old English fairy tale. The village was crafted in 1947 by Edgar Wilson, a pensioner from England, as a gesture of gratitude to Melbourne, which sent vital food aid to Britain during World War II. The attention to detail is astounding. The models include a series of 16th century English-style cottages, a church, and a village green, all scaled perfectly. Set along the northern bank of the Yarra River, just a stone's throw from Federation Square, is Birrarung Marr, a vibrant urban park named after the Wurundjeri phrase River of Mist. The park celebrates Melbourne's rich Aboriginal heritage while serving as a hub for some of the city's most iconic events, such as the Moomba Festival in March. During winter, it transforms into a wonderland of light, ice skating rinks and cozy food stalls. Come December, it hosts the Christmas Festival, which boasts a glittering light display, festive markets and family-friendly rides. Returning back to the CBD, you'll find the Regent Theatre on Collins Street, a magnificent heritage-listed venue that has hosted countless performances, from glittering musicals to iconic concerts. It has hosted countless world-class performances, including Broadway hits, West End shows and concerts. The cobblestone Hosier Lane is arguably the central point of the city's street art scene. Every few days, there will be some new graffiti art adorning the walls of this small cobblestone lane. It was also home to Frederick Bailey Deeming, who was one of the people suspected of being Jack the Ripper, and his ghost is sometimes said to be felt by those walking along Hosier Lane at night. How do you know food at an eatery is good? You look at the queues, and nothing says more about the quality of the croissants here than this queue. Lune Croissanterie, located on Russell Street, is a branch of the main store in Fitzroy. It is a haven for pastry lovers and has garnered a reputation for serving some of the best croissants in the world, although France might dispute that. My favourite is the ham and gruyere croissant. Founded by Kate Reid, a former F1 aerodynamics engineer who brought her expertise to the world of pastry making, Lune has revolutionized the art of croissant making. Be prepared to wait, as it is so worth it. Melbourne is also famous for its nightlife, as there are a host of activities after dark. These include the hidden bars such as Berlin Bar, which is modelled after East and West Berlin and is accessed via a secret door and a buzzer. They serve a host of Cold War themed cocktails. Other hidden bars include Trinket Bar and Lock and Key. There are also a range of events after hours held throughout the year. This includes the Monochord Laser Show, the Constellation Light Show, and the Firelight Festival. Eve, the city skyline is transformed with fireworks visible from almost anywhere in the city. that's it for this guide. I hope you found it useful for planning your visit, and if you know of anything else that I missed, please do share it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and please do hit that like and subscribe button.